I'm here with
Goers.
Goers, and your talk this time is
Cross-platform mobile development in Mono.
Mono. Okay. Now, the Mono world and specifically with the Mono Touch and Mono Droid, those tools kind of went through a little bit of a jarring effect in the last year.
Yes.
Miguel left, or however you want to say. Where were they?
Novell jettisoned.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, actually, Novell was purchased by Attachmate, which just started jettisoning all kinds of stuff without knowing what it was for or what kind of support agreements they had in place.
Okay.
And found out later that they had to keep it alive for one thing. And Miguel, once things started wrapping up there, when the writing was on the wall, he went off, started a new company.
And what's the name of it?
Xamarin.
Xamarin. Okay. But they're still called Mono Touch and Mono Droid. They still have the names and everything, right?
Mono for Android, otherwise
Mono
Motorola sues you. No, actually, Motorola, the Star Wars people sue you.
For Droid.
Yes, and Motorola uses Droid and pays a lot of money for it.
So we're using the word Droid without, really using it, right?
Correct.
Yes. So
It's still in the code in places.
okay. So Mono for Android. So talk just a little bit about these tools. What do they give a developer who's doing mobile development? What's the advantage of using them?
The advantage is being able to use your language of choice, C# in this case, and potentially others down the road, and being able to use the .NET runtime on an Objective-C platform. So you get all the niceties of of Link, of the .NET, all the .NET runtimes like the system.web for web services, the security pieces for compression, gzip compression, libraries, standard file libraries, and those types of things. What it doesn't give you is Windows Forms type functionality. You do have to develop your user interface specific to the platform. The tools expose the native platform in .NET, and so you get all the same user UI view interfaces, the same navigational interfaces that they use, the same menuing structures, everything that's on the native platform, not some Windowsy type wrapper around it. So you do have to develop your user interfaces for each platform.
So with each platform, like Mono for the Android platform, they use Java. That's the language they use.
It's
and
Java, yep.
That's a very similar notion where you've got a language, there's a runtime, and it's compiled to bytecodes. With Objective-C, that's native. That's really just C, right? So
yes.
So with .NET, what is the performance with using, especially in the iPhone world? If you're doing an application that you're writing with the Mono tool set for iPhone, is there any degradation in performance, or does it pretty much keep up to par if you were doing it in Objective-C?
There's two issues with .NET, and I wouldn't call them huge issues, but the things that Xamarin and the developers for the Mono platform have had to deal with. One is the .NET runtime isn't generally installed, and in one neighborhood of 26 megabytes, maybe larger these days. I haven't kept track.
Yeah.
You don't want to distribute a phone type application that's 26 megabytes plus your code. So what they do is for the .NET, for the Mono Touch platform for iOS, they actually compile .NET down. So you lose some of the code generation stuff that Apple prevents anyway.
Right.
So no matter what you use, you wouldn't be able to do those things. So you get, so what they do is they compile and link down your .NET application using only the assemblies and parts of the assemblies you own.
Okay.
So they regenerate into that. So your binaries are more along the lines of, say, 3 meg, 4 meg, which in these days and age, these wireless networks isn't a huge deal.
Yeah.
With the graphics, in the graphics they put into these applications, that might even be larger than your code size in a lot of cases anyway. Okay. There's actually several, and you can go to the Xamarin's website and see several apps written in Mono that are in the .NET in the store, in Apple's store.
Okay.
So Apple, at one point, people were scared off because Apple was trying to, in their fight with Adobe and Flash, we're putting the developer terms up so that you couldn't use anything but Apple's tools. Well, Adobe got the FCC involved, Apple backed off. Flash still doesn't run, but it's opened the way for Xamarin and different development environments other than their Apple's own.
Okay.
And for the Android platform, they do it. It's a different tact. There's actually a version of the .NET runtime, and it uses the same linker. What's the LLVM linker for? There's actually a compiler for .NET that existed before all this, the Xamarin even started.
Okay.
And what they do there too is, again, you wouldn't want to just, you're not going to have a .NET runtime on an Android device. So they link down, they pull from the assemblies the pieces that your application needs to run.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. All right. Thanks, Kenny.
You're welcome.